and then it becomes decision making by the person with the most stamina.
I disagree with that. I don't chill all 24 hours. I chill only for 23.
Going, customer centric, yeah, but
So Jeff Bezos is one of the richest people in the world, and Amazon is one of the most important companies in the world. We know that, all of us. Bezos created Amazon from scratch almost 25 years ago. The question I have had in my mind for a while is, how has he achieved this? What did he do to achieve this?
So I think a lot of people have looked very closely at what Amazon does and how Jeff Bezos runs Amazon. There's a lot of analysis on that. What I have done today is pick one sliver of that, which is his decision-making strategies, right? So
Okay.
we are going to look at 3-4 principles, all related to decision making. Okay. So let me ask you a question, Shrikant. Should you make decisions quickly, or should you make them carefully?
Well,
Is speed of decision making more important, or is it more important to consider all factors and make the right decision?
me personally, I consider all factors before making a decision because I want to be absolutely sure of the decision.
But then the problem is that you will move too slow, your competitors will go ahead of you, you will get stuck in analysis paralysis.
That does tend to happen. So,
Yeah.
are you saying that I should take decisions quickly and
Well,
move fast?
actually, that was a trick question. Okay. So,
Okay.
the most important principle Jeff Bezos has related to taking decisions is that there are two kinds of decisions. Okay. There are two kinds of situations. What he calls two-way door decisions versus one-way door decisions.
Okay.
What you have to ask yourself
Huh.
is that once I take this decision,
Huh.
can I reverse it easily or not? Okay.
Okay.
If you can quickly reverse it and come back to the same situation you were in earlier, that's a two-way door decision. Yeah, you went in, you came out.
Okay.
Whereas if it's a one-way door, once you take that decision, there is no going back.
Ah, smart.
So first, decide whether this is a two-way door decision or a one-way door decision. For two-way door decisions, take decisions quickly, right? Because it's always easy to rewind them.
Yeah.
So don't overthink them. Speed is important, right? People with speed will usually outperform people who do things more carefully. But when it is a one-way decision, take your time, collect data, try to simulate the possibilities, maybe do little mini experiments, and only then take the decision.
So the first decision I need to take is whether the decision I'm about to take is a two-way decision or a one-way decision.
Yeah, and it's not difficult. Okay. So if you're getting married versus if you're dating somebody, which one is a one-way door decision and which one is two-way?
Okay, listen.
Easy, right?
Kind of easy because until recently, one of them used to be a one-way decision and the other used to be a two-way decision. But these days, it doesn't really, both of them are two-way decisions in a way.
No. Society still gives a lot of importance to marriage. Once you get married, it is really difficult to back out of it, right?
Well, if you look at all of the paperwork and everything involved, fair. I'll call that a one-way decision in that sense. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. And usually, yeah, part of it is you need to take a judgment on whether this is one way or two way. But usually in real life, you'll realize that part is not hard, right? The hard part is that when there is a one-way door decision, then how much thinking should you do?
Correct. At what point do I stop thinking and not get engulfed in that analysis paralysis, as you said?
Bezos has something called the 70% rule.
Second principle.
What he says is that take the decision when you have around 70% of the data.
Okay.
Right. Usually a lot of people have a problem that they want to collect all the data, they want to have all the information and then make the decision. That does lead to analysis paralysis, or at the least it leads to you being very slow and your competitors getting into your OODA loop. Okay, OODA loop is covered in a different episode, but you need to move fast, right?
Right.
If while taking the decision, you waited until you got 90% of the data, that is too slow.
Hold on. OODA was spelled OODA, right?
That is observe, orient, decide and act. So this is a principle which came in from a fighter pilot called Boyd, and is one of the more important concepts in decision making.
1 second. He was a pilot called Uda.
No, Boyd.
He was a pilot and he coined Uda.
Yes, OODA. That is correct.
The Marathi and Hindi guys will appreciate this joke.
Okay.
Anyway, coming back to the second principle, 70%. Tell us
Yes.
more about it.
So, don't wait for all the data. You cannot wait for all the data. The best managers, the most successful people learn to take decisions with partial data, which is 70%.
All right.
But wait till 70%. Don't take decisions on like 30% of the data.
Okay. So now I have 70% of the data. I'm about to take a decision. Is there something I need to be wary of, careful of?
I mean, no, just again related to the same concept, right? That you have to take, even the slow decisions you have to take quickly.
Okay.
One of the things a lot of people do is collect together a committee to help with the decision. And this is a good thing, right? This is how you collect the data. This is how you collect the various viewpoints.
Correct.
But you have to be careful to not make this like a full unanimous committee decision. If you try to convince everyone, that is again going to take too long. Okay, especially in a business setting. If you say that all these people have to agree before we move ahead, then nothing gets done. If two people are not agreeing, what is going to happen is that they'll just be at loggerheads until one of them gets tired and gives up. And then it becomes decision making by the person with the most stamina. You don't want that, right?
Yeah, you don't.
Right? But again, then you don't have to, what if you can't convince the other people? At that time, what you do is you pick one person who is the final decision maker. Okay. And then that person makes a decision and the other people disagree but commit.
Principle number 3.
Disagree but commit. What that means is that, okay, I don't like this decision. I disagree with this, but now that the decision is made, I am 100% behind this.
Disagree but commit. That sounds like a smart thing to do because, yeah.
But there is an interesting sub-principle there, right?
Okay.
Now, there's a manager and there's a junior. The junior is supposed to implement something, but wants to know what strategy to use, right?
Very familiar scenario
And
everywhere.
the manager and the junior, they decide they're trying to take the decision and there's a disagreement. Who should take the decision?
The manager obviously gets to take the decision.
Typically, what happens, right? Manager, I am senior, I take the decision and the junior has to do it. Bezos says no. Usually, if the junior is, after the manager has explained his thought process, right? If the junior is still insistent on their approach, then the junior should take the decision and the senior is the one who should disagree but commit. Okay.
Wow.
Because the junior is the one who is doing it. They are the one closer to the situation, right? Again, this is also a concept from the OODA loop. We will come to that, but decisions should be pushed closer to where the action is, and the higher ups should collect data, but then let the lower down people take the decisions. So
I think people are going to clip this part of the video and they are going to share it heavily on WhatsApp, especially in office group chats and office Slacks and all of the working whatever groups that they are working on. The junior should take the decision. The manager should disagree but commit.
Absolutely. And tell them Bezos said so.
All right. So one of my analysis paralysis is because I get tired after thinking too much. Is there a way to kind of do better there?
Yeah, actually there is a bigger problem, right? At least you realize you're tired. Lots of people don't realize they're tired and they take bad decisions. So Bezos principle number 4 is that, one, he likes to sleep 8 hours a day. Okay, if you are sleep deprived, you are going to make bad decisions. Second is he likes taking decisions in the morning, in the 10 a.m. to 12 noon time frame. When your mind is fresh, everything is clear, that's when you take the best decisions. By evening, you're tired and you just want to get things over with, and that's not a good time to take decision. But also notice that he didn't take decisions at 5 a.m. because what he wants to do is wake up normally,
peacefully,
have his tea, coffee, potter around in the house, just chill in the morning. That chilling in the morning is also important to him. Wake up calmly, chill, slowly get to work, and then take decisions quickly.
The guy sounds exactly like me, yaar. Matlab, I don't understand why he has $200 million and I barely have 200 rupees to my name in my bank account. What is this? This is unfair, yaar. This is absolutely unfair.
Well, no, the problem is that he doesn't chill all 24 hours, okay?
I disagree with that. I don't chill all 24 hours. I chill only for 23.
And one final principle I want to introduce here.
Number 5.
Again, related to decisions, is be customer centric.
Okay.
Okay. And now I can imagine everybody going, customer centric. Yeah, but that like who in the world doesn't want to be customer centric? But this is actually a more surprising thing than most. Okay. Because what being customer centric means that you are not employee centric, you are not profit centric. What it means is that if you have a choice between making more profit or giving the customer a cheaper product, you go for the cheaper product. If there is a choice between a customer being happy versus an employee being happy, you make the customer happy. Okay.
What?
Be customer centric. So
that is insane levels of customer centricity. Like, you would put your customers' happiness over your employees.
Yes. That's a Bezos principle. I'm not necessarily saying that you should follow it. What I'm saying is that when I first said be customer centric, all of you nodded your head saying that is very obvious. Now suddenly it doesn't sound obvious, does it?
It doesn't.
I want you to think about this carefully. In fact, I have a principle saying that whenever somebody gives you a principle like this, ask what is the anti-principle. Ask what do I have to give up? So when you say be customer centric, you ask what do I give up in exchange? So
I give up peace of mind if I'm going to be that customer centric.
If a principle doesn't have an anti-principle, then it's just a feel-good statement that you forward on WhatsApp and forget like 3 minutes later. Okay. So anyway, Bezos says be customer centric like crazy.
I think that explains why some people in his warehouses don't get to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So I have another interesting example, right? Zappos is like a legendary company in Las Vegas, right? And they were legendary for like legendary customer service.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to them?
They shut down, I think.
No, Amazon bought them because Amazon really believes in customer centric. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
and there are a lot of stories of Amazon being highly customer centric in really weird ways. Like, I remember this one thing, I think I read it on Reddit, where somebody had ordered a SSD, 128 GB SSD, and ended up getting a shipment of 10 graphics cards instead. Amazon was like, keep it.
Yeah. So, I mean, also, I can imagine a lot of readers are going to say, no, Amazon is not customer centric. They sent me a stone instead of my iPhone. It happens, right? Mistakes happen. What I'm saying is, what is the strategy at the top, right? At the lower levels, everybody can't be perfect all the time. And also, Amazon does a lot of horrible things. Okay. What I am saying is, these are the good things that you can pick out of. Okay.
All right. So, the 5 brilliant principles from Jeff Bezos. Is there anything else that Jeff Bezos can teach us?
One that I really like. Right? He says that suppose you want to build a new product, right?
This is for all of the startup entrepreneurs out there. Listen carefully, very carefully.
He says that, write the press release first. Okay. Then work backwards on what the feature should be, and then what the architecture should be, right? Because if you don't have a press release that is going to be impressive to customers and investors and lay people, then it's not interesting enough to do, right?
Yeah,
that backwards from the final output. Okay.
That actually makes sense, because if you don't know how you're going to pitch it, sell it, then
Yeah.
there is no sense making it. So
Yeah.
all of you startup entrepreneurs, write that press release now.
Yeah.
Like, write it now. So
And if Shrungar is sitting there telling me that, but this is opposite of Karmanyavadikaraste, no, it is not. Okay. Listen to our episode on Karmanyavadikaraste,
and
where
watch it.
we explain that while planning, you do look at the goals.
Yeah.
But then while execution and after you are done, then you are supposed to ignore the goals.
Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. All right. Since you mentioned that every principle has to have an anti-principle, tell me why you shouldn't listen to Jeff Bezos.
Well, a lot of these principles
Hmm.
are such that there have been major successful companies which have done the exact opposite and they have been successful, right?
Okay.
So, for example, there are companies who are like very focused on making employees happy. And if that results in a customer being unhappy, tough luck. You can fire the customer. There are companies which, are like, we make fast decisions, move fast and break things. Okay. And if
Yeah.
break something major, that's also fine. So
A certain person in a grey hooded sweatshirt comes to mind.
yeah. So I am not saying that you just follow all these blindly. What I want you to do is evaluate each one carefully. Ask yourself, are you this kind of person? And
Ask yourself if you have $200 billion.
no. Again, now you are not being Karmanyavadikaraste, right?
I know.
That's why we are looking at the principles, the process to be followed, not the end goal.
Listen, I am envious of the guy for having $200 billion. I am allowed. I am a human.
Well, looks like you need more lessons from the Gita. We will get to that also.
We will get to that in another episode. But this was me, Shrikant. That's Naveen. This is Future IQ.
Thank you.